Test, test. Test, test, test. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try that again. This is Mike, Common Guy Sports. Welcome to the Sunday prelim session of the 2026 New Jersey Swim Scarlet Gold Championships. As you can see, top left of your screen, it is 8:16. We're starting scheduled at 8:20. All right, I'm going with a different microphone this morning. I traditionally wear a headset, but day 3 here, trying to mix it up a little and see if we can work with this. So if anybody's out there and you're on your phone or computer and you could just put a quick chat message back, let me know everything looks and sounds okay. Should still hear. All right, you should still hear ambient sound from a different microphone in-house. Just using a different one for my commentating. Oh, that's not right, bottom right. Hold on, folks. That white text on the bottom right, for some reason, didn't get updated. Oh, I stand corrected. It part I saw in there, it's a day of meet 4. I was reading session 4, so that is updated correctly. The only thing, let me make one change to it. For some reason, if you ever see funny characters in there, for some reason, the letter F in the PDF I get comes through as a question mark. All right, so on the bottom right, that is our schedule of events today. We're starting with 109. We're going to follow the tradition, what we've been doing the past couple days. Girls 13, 14, then we'll have the boys 13, 14. Then we'll have the women's, which is 15 and over, and then the men's 15 and over. So I will try and hold to the protocol of saying girls and boys for the 13, 14, women and... All right, Carrie Ann, I appreciate the acknowledgement. Women and men for the 15 and overs. If I deviate from that, please bear with me. I listened to part of what I was my coverage from yesterday. I wanted to rehear something, and I think I was saying upper right, upper left incorrectly. So we're trying to be a little more accurate. But if you are new with my coverage, let me give you a quick run through. We're then to start hopefully selecting the right camera real quick. We'll give you the overview. Rutgers Pool, all the spectators. So if you're texting with somebody, they're going to be in that area to the right, or when I pan around, you'll see the area to the left. I am kind of top center. So this is known as the scoreboard end of the pool. The pool is set up for today's meet. This whole meet is a 25-yard short course. All starts will start on the right side on that block, swim down to the bulkhead, swim back. That'll be 50 yards. The pool is capable for a 50-meter Olympic size configuration. That white thing is called a bulkhead. That slides all the way back to this dive end, and then that would give you the 50 yards left to right. As you see, swimmers over here are warming up. All right, here we go. Why is that not working? All right, we're on to take a look at the scoreboard top left. I'm just working on an issue with something. Again, starting with event 109, girls 13-14, 200 freestyle. These are seated slowest to fastest. So this first heat, as you see, there's a few empty lanes because the software fills up the last heat and then works backwards. So this 200 is going to be 8 lengths of the pool. All the information for this whole meet is either on the website, BSmart Inc., BESMARTTINC, or within Meet Mobile, which is an app for your phone or tablet. All right. As you can see on the top left, the scoreboard has all the names showing the splits. Let's see if we can get things working. All right, we're coming back to the start end. This is going to be a 150-yard turn for the ladies. Should say girls at this point. 13-14. This is event 109. All right, I agree, Edward. This is the finale of a great weekend. And what's going on? I'm going to talk about it. There's going to be some swimmers putting in serious yardage this weekend. All right, load time there goes to Sammy in 4, 2:05.62. She came in on a 2:06.30, so drop in time. That was heat 1. I'm working through a couple little issues on my side. Slides. All right, here's our entries for heat 2. All right, the information on the top right of your screen is outdated. I'm going to try and keep that updated. This is, sorry. Heat 2 is in the pool. The names for heat 3 are on the top right. Again, I would suggest if you either download the heat sheets from the BSmart website or get the Meet Mobile app or communicate with somebody that knows which events your swimmer of interest is in. That is the way to be prepared so you know when they're coming up. So we're on event 109, heat 2 of 5. right, that is the finish there. Isabella in 7 goes low. That was heat 2. Isabella came in 205.80. She goes 203.52. This is heat 3. Names for heat 4, top right. All right, just to reset, heat 3 is in the pool. The names for heat 4, top right. 5 total heats. So we'll be circle seating the last 3 heats. And what that means is the top 24 entries are split across those final 3 heats. Fastest time is going to be in lane 4 of the last heat. Second fastest will be in lane 4 of the second to last heat. And then third fastest will be in the third from the end. So hopefully that makes sense. Just you'll understand it when you kind of get a feeling for it. So I'm just trying. I'll explain more during the boys. I'm just trying to clean something up here, though. All right, low time there. 158.28 for Sophia. So in this heat 3, Sophia was the 3rd best seed time. All right, here we go with the next heat. So here in lane 4, Elizabeth Palmer was the 2nd best seed time. And in a second, you'll see lane 4 in the next heat. Emma Pereira is the best seed time. All right. So this is the second to last heat. Now you'll see on the top right, Emma's seed time was a 152.35, where Elizabeth here in lane 4 came in at a 152.38. And the previous heat, Sophia had a 155.54. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. I should create like a graphic to show that, or there might actually be one out there. I haven't never looked for it. It's just one of those mechanisms such that all the swimmers with the best times aren't swimming in the morning in the prelims, with the same swimmers potentially swimming in the evening in the finals. And then the other part of that, it also helps, like a swimmer here in lane 5, Maria came in on a 156, which is the 4th overall seed time. But it allows her to swim next to, in this case, Elizabeth in 4. All right. And then that kind of chevron shape, that pyramid shape or triangle shape coming out from the middle, that's a result of lane 4 always gets the low seed time, and then it works out from there. All right. All right, the ladies turning there, 6 lengths complete, 150 yards. Again, this is our heat 4 of 5. The names top right are your next heat swimmers, final heat. All right, here comes Elizabeth into the wall, lane 4, 154.21 for Elizabeth, just off her seed. Good morning swim, though. It is 8:31 here on, really, it's day 4 overall. Thursday night was the distance events. All right, here's our entries for the final heat. Now on the top right, you see the names for the boys in the first heat of theirs event, which will be next. Lanes 4 and 5 are within the black lane lines. Lane 1's at the top of our screen. So 1, 2, and 3. So the right-hand side of 3 in this case is the black lane line. But the ones that are double black, or the black lane lines on the left and right is 4 and 5, and that's for visually to see where it is. Or, potentially if you use that Rutgers on the bottom of the pool, even though that's under 4, visually from our angle, it looks like it's under 5. All right, so the chat is open. I see that comment. Yeah, it is. It's a pleasure covering this. So glad I could do it. Full disclosure, I am being compensated. I am an independent contractor in this sense. I have older daughters that had swum, and that's where this all started. Now it just kind of became a side hustle. But if anybody has a question or comment I can help with, please put it in the chat. Here we come into the finish. Low time here is Maria, 154.90. That's dropping second and a half off of 156.18 for Maria. All right, here we go. Heat 1. So Maria will be back. Looks like Emma will be back. Elizabeth, all in that sub 2. Nice job. Good morning swim. So the structure here is this is the morning preliminaries. The swimmers have to qualify, be in the top 16 to be invited back. There are 2 alternates, but then this evening we'll have the finals, and those finals will be grouped based on this morning's preliminary seeds. So a swimmer might have a better PR, but coming back tonight, it's going to be based on the preliminary times from this morning. All right, heat 1 of 5 for the boys is in the pool. Yeah, Edward, I'm sorry I didn't catch Krista's time in the finish, but we are seeing good times in this early morning. And again, swimmers probably were here Friday morning, and then Friday night, yesterday morning, and yesterday night, or last night, it's what it's known as. So a lot of effort put in. And really at the end of this, short course season, some of these swimmers are going for times to qualify for additional meets. So if somebody is qualifying and has achieved that, I'm not tracking those. It's kind of too much to keep track of. But if you do know of one qualifying, put it in the chat. I'd like to give them a shout out. So you're going to hear announcements shortly that the previous event has been closed out. All right, low time there. Christian O'Sullivan in 2. He goes 155.33. Christian came in 158.83. That's 3.5. Nice drop, Christian. Let's get you the names here for Heat 2. These are then a refresh. There we go. And the logos will swap out to the correct ones. This is Heat 2. Names top right are your Heat 3 swimmers. Swimmers are at 150 here on the right-hand wall. Sojin in 4, leading out. Again, this is Heat 2 of 5. This is not circle seated. All right, nice swim there. 154.33 for Sojin. Came in on a 156.68. So this seat, if you look in lane 4, you'll see that seed time 148, and then outside lane 1 and 8, 156. So that's a result of the circle seating. And I mentioned it last one that the wasn't circle seated because everybody came in with pretty close times. So I just wanted to kind of, that's the reason I might highlight that, saying it is or is not circle seated. All right, top right now are the Heat 4 entries. That was our 100-yard turn. Low split there, Aiden in 4 with the 52.33. All right, the record here from 2017 is owned by Dare Rose on a 139.18. I didn't mention it earlier. The record on the girls' side, Ingrid Shue, 147 from 2013. And I might not be accurately representing the records. I'm just reading what's presented to me. So if it's not accurate and you're confident in updating me, please put it in the chat. All right, low time there, 148.47. I'm just experimenting with something, folks. All right, there it is. That's not great, but. All right, so I was experimenting with the larger scoreboard to show you easier to read. That's what the word was. All right, Heat 4 is in the pool.
Coaches and swimmers. Event 109, the 13-14 girls 200 freestyle is now available for final scratching. The time is 8:40 and you have 30 minutes to declare your intention. Thank you.
All right. That is John from Be Smart. They do a fabulous job running the meet. So that announcement, what I mentioned, the results are final. You know, they've verified all the times. They take care of potentially if there's any DQs, and then the swimmers need to make their intention to come back. Now, Rutgers could be an hour and a half, 2 hours from home for some people. Fair amount do stay locally at hotels. But if a swimmer has a conflict for tonight or chooses not to based on where they are in their training and so on, they have that option. And the reason being they don't want 8 swimmers, the best 8, to be, planning on coming and then not showing up and preventing on the 9th or the 10th having the chance to swim in that A final. All right, this is heat 4. The names, as I said, for the final heat are on the top right of your screen. That was the 150 turn. Lead swimmer in 5, Arel Say, came in 149.47. Big turn there for lane 4, Eric Day. Eric's going to go low, right on his seat. Rel 149 right on his seat, looking out. Devin in 2 swims a 152.59, dropping over 2 seconds off his 154.86. Big drop there in Kyle K in 7. I'm going to go with that. 155 seed. He dropped a bunch. Nice swim. This is our final heat. Next up is going to be the women's heat 1 of 3. Now, the women's, again, 15 to 18-year-olds. There potentially will be older than 18s, but those will not be eligible to come back for the finals. That's our lead swimmer, Chase Kim. Again, low seed. So the last heat, lane 4, is going to be the lowest seed overall. So Chase came in 143.56. I mentioned it many times, but Anna Mosch, previous Somerset County Y, holds some records here. We're going to say her name a few times. She at the NCAAs, she swims this and swam it at a 139, I think 139.8, which is the second fastest ever by an American. I think maybe even second fastest ever, just behind Missy Franklin. And she took the NCAA crown there. That was on the flat start. She swam it as part of the 800 relay and went 139.08 off the relay start. So congratulations, Anna Mosch. And ironically, she's a record holder. I'll mention that in a few seconds for the 15 to 18-year-olds. She does not own the record for the 13-14. That's Ingrid Shue. All right, there's your finish, 146.37. Again, I don't know. I'll try and do this when I can, put the bigger scoreboard up so you can see it. Just gets a little, all right. Let's get to the ladies' names. This is going to be a little slow. Just these needs to refresh, and the logos will get updated shortly. This is heat 1 of 3, women's 15 and over, 200 freestyle, event 111. Again, you can see that bottom center of your screen. That is just a snippet off the scoreboard. So hopefully, again, that keeps track better than me updating it. So I trade off the quality of the graphics for the accuracy. Again, I fall behind on certain things. All right. This is heat 1 of 3. Record here for the 15 and over women, Anna Mosch, 144.10. Again, I just mentioned as a sophomore at Virginia, she's going 139.8. So she accomplished that record back in March of 22. Since we have 3 heats, these are circle seated. And you see the names on the top right. Interestingly, so since we have 3 heats, circle seating all the way through gives us 2 empty lanes in each heat. That's why it's a little different than if we weren't in the circle seating. You might just have like 2 or you would have 3 swimmers here and then full lanes afterwards. So if you're wondering why the next heat also has empty lanes, that is an artifact of the circle seating. Right. That's Zoe in 5, Emily in 4, Zoe leading out. Yeah, so I mentioned it yesterday. So yes, we'll talk about the relay start in a second. 154.84 for Zoe. She came in 155.94. That's 1.1. Nice swim, Zoe. Here we are with our heat 2. I am in no way an expert on the topic, but just doing some reading on the whole relay start. One is the ability to predict when a swimmer's coming in and have a reaction, but they also do the kind of step over start where they kind of potentially step over the wedge and build more momentum going into the pool, which ultimately gives them, more energy where you're propelling yourself and ultimately have a higher rate when you enter the water. So as I understand, and again, not an expert, if somebody wants to talk about fluid dynamics and so on like that, it'll be beyond me. But that is the 2 factors of a relay versus what's known as a flat start. So these are flat starts when you're waiting for the starter, the buzzer, the light, or the horn, whatever you want to refer to it as. All right, this is our heat 2. Names on the top right are the heat 3 entries. And you'll see when we go back, the starting blocks here, there's many different brands. The wedge on the back side is a little tall. The old style wedges or the old style starting blocks didn't have that adjustable wedge. So if you're not familiar, well, I'll do it a little bit later. I'll give you a close-up view of the starting block. Shout out, who is it? West Morris Y, I think. West Morris Y just got new blocks, and boy, they look fast. I'm joking that a block looks fast, but they do look nice. There we go. Low time there is Jessica Sung in 2, 155.94. That's a nice drop. She came in at 157.08. Here we are with our final heat. Low seed time, lane 4, Josie Marino, 150.73. So the names we'll get this off. The names you see on the top right will get updated in a second. And those are going to be heat 1 of 4 for the men's. Again, when I say men's, 15 and over.
Attention, swimmers and coaches. The results for event 110 are now available. Please submit your scratches. The time is 8:50 and 30 minutes.
All right. So that was the announcement for 110. So if you're very interested, if you go to Meet Mobile, they should be updated accordingly. Yeah, I'm just seeing a couple pop-ups. Emma Pereira, unofficially 155. So Emma Butterfly last night swam a 2:00 point. I did not get updated records for that, so I might have read it as Emily Thompson as the record holder. So Emma is either right at that or has obtained that record. I just did not get updated, so just wanted to let you know about that. Fabulous meet so far for Emma. Yeah, this is going to be a 150 turn here in lane 4, Josie Marino. Again, another exercise would be to go and look. Josie has been putting in the yardage this weekend. If we look, again, what you can do within Meet Mobile, go in and select or search based on a swimmer. And then see all their events. So she swam the 1650, which is the mile, 100 free, 100, 500. So if I was better at math, I would add those all up. But Josie's putting in the yardage. All right, here it is. Heat one of, what did I say, 4? I page down and now I'm missing. Yeah, 104 for the men's. This one is not circle seated. Next one will be. So just on the of note, the 1650s, those are not prelim final structure. That's just a timed final. So not discounting any of yardage for Josie, but she swam 1650, the 100 twice, the 500 twice, 200 back twice, 200 fly twice, 400 free relay. Swam the 200 free now, and she's slated for the 100-yard back later in event 119. So. All right, names are now updated top right for your heat 2. Those will be circle seated, so you'll see the discrepancy outside to inside up next. Record holder here for the men's 200 free, Zachary Malloy from 2014, 135.66. We are at 150. First to turn is Lucas, followed by Liam in 3. All right, low time here, Lucas, 146.38, dropping 2.5 off of 149.15. I said 2.5 with the question mark. I'm still waking up. Wait a second. All right, this is heat 2 of 4, circle seated. You see in the middle 143, on the outside 149. Top right, those names are your heat 3 of 4 swimmers. All right, so this is heat 2. We have heat 3 names top right. Then we'll have heat 4. Then we'll move on to 113, 50 butterfly. And again,
Attention, swimmers and coaches. The result of event 112 have now been posted.
all right, so the women's results are posted.
Attention, swimmers and coaches. The results of event 111 are now posted. The time is 8:56. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
All right, to the finish, low time 144.30. Brett. Sorry, I'm missing it. Where is he? Oh, Brett Davis came in 145.29. Goes 144.30. This is heat 3 of 4. Names for the final heat are on the top right. Yeah, Eric, I see your comment there. I was enthralled with those new starting blocks. If anybody's out there, go to Instagram, look up West Morris Y. My kids had swum at Summit, and I was involved when they replaced their blocks, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And I don't know if something like what you got, I call it European style, I guess, in a way, or monopod, whatever you want to refer to it. I think it's fair to say I think they're sexy. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. But go to Instagram, take a look. All right, lanes 4 and 5, middle of the pool. Reed in 4, Jonah in 5. So the NCAA women's just wrapped up. Virginia took the title. And again, I mentioned Anna Mosch there. The men's is next week, and it's interesting how they break that out. What was my thought there? Oh, the interesting thing they said. All right, let's talk about this. 143 for Jonah. Came in 144.06, dropping 3/4. This is our final heat. Obviously I've been here for a couple days, but I heard a comment from the Virginia coach. Said, on the heels of losing like the Walshes and why am I drawing a blank? The Walsh sisters and drawing a blank on the other really talented girl, a woman that just graduated. But he's kind of said, we're going to a different style. We're then, be a little more deeper of a team. And then Anna Mosch steps up and Curzan, they won relays and stuff. So really impressive. So it'll be interesting with the men's side coming up next weekend. All right, names on the top right is going to be Event 13's Heat 1. It is a 50 butterfly. That is Heat 1 of 5. Yeah, you're what is listing some really powerful names. I thought, I don't know, somebody, Giuliano or somebody was potentially, why am I drawing a blank? Luendo, Giuliano. Somebody was, I think, out on injury. Jack Alexi's actually in China swimming, and that's an interesting thing. Check out his post on Instagram. He was very appreciative of the hospitality. Here we go, low time, 141.68. Nathaniel, just off his already impressive 140.25 seed time. All right, this is Event 13's Heat 1 of 5. Slated to go at 9 o'clock, and it is 9 o'clock right on the dot. So 50-yard down and back. Names for Heat 2, top right. This is 1 of 5 in the pool, and let's give a little I don't know if I'm allowed to say FaceTime with Apple's copyright laws, but we didn't get it that time. Sorry. All right, they're into the finish. That was heat 1. Low time at 27:26 for Annabelle there. Here's our entries for heat 2. All right, so this empty lane here, lane 8, is a fact of they didn't want to put, is a software, not really a personal thing or a manual thing. The software doesn't put just 2 swimmers in a given heat, so it pulled down one of the swimmers from this heat to have 3 in the first heat, if anybody was wondering or not familiar with that. 2 is in the pool, names for 3, top right. Danny in 4 going low here. She came in 30.96. She's dropping 1.9 something. We'll call it 2 seconds. Nice drop there, Danny. Again, came in 30.96, goes 29.01. The exact drop will be reflected in Meet Mobile. This is heat 3. All right, we'll try and get some faces here. All right. Names for 4 updated top right. Record here is not listed. Oh, we weren't getting records on the 50s. Low time 27:48 for Liliana. Over a half-second drop off of 28.05. This is heat 4 of 5.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 112 are now posted. The time is now 9:03. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
That is lanes 4 and 5. Lane 4 is going low. Riley, she goes 27.44, dropping 0.3 off of 27.74 seed. Final heat. I see that comment. The good Walsh is Gretchen Walsh. I think a lot of people wish they were the bad Walsh, if there is such a thing. 27.14 low for Kayla in 5. Are we updated here? All right, here we go to the boys' side, heat 1 of 5. Nice swim there. 27.14 for Kayla. Came in 27.91. It's a nice morning drop on, really, it's day 4 of the meet, but we'll call it day 3 just because the first day was just the 1650. Again, all the previous streams are on YouTube, available to rewatch. They'll be there, hopefully, I can't say forever, but for a long time. Yes, thank you. The second Walsh is Alex. I should know these off the top of my head. This is heat 2. All right, what is 6745? My pleasure bringing this to you. Hopefully you're enjoying it. That was Heat 2, low time for Bryce, 28.7. Bryce came in 28.7. He goes 27.01. Nice drop. Here we go. Heat 3. 3 of 5. We're circle seated. All right, low time there. Gio goes 25.23, dropping off 25.61. See now, so the lane 6 there, CBGC. I got the logo working. I'll admit it's a terrible logo. It's just a headshot. Literally somebody's cap. For some reason, the software is stumbling on different lanes with that team. So, trying to figure out why that is, but all right, this is Heat 4 in the pool. Names for 5 is updated. Greetings from Germany. Awesome. Welcome. I will keep an eye out. Mira, your granddaughter. Hopefully I'll keep an eye out. We'll give her a shout if I see what's going on. Did I not? Oh, that was correct. Those names were correct. I flashed them off. I wasn't sure if they were actually accurate. So this is our final heat. Then we'll have the women's Heat 105 next. Those names top right. Andrew Kim in lane 4. He was our low seed coming in. He goes low here, 24.90 for Andrew, just off his seed. Nice swim, guys. 28. There's a drop there. Lane 6, previous one. Justin came in 26.53, goes 25.94.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 113 are now posted. The time is now 9:09. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Again, this is Heat 105 for the women, event 115. Low time there on the board, 27.89 for Cassie. That's a huge drop. She came in 30.94. Way to go, Cassie. Jersey Shore Y. JSY. This is Heat 2. Names for 3 updated top right. Low time 27.85 for Mila. Nice drop off of 28.96. Awesome morning swim. Here we go with Heat 3. Circle seated. 3, 4, and 5 will be circle seated, but not a ton. I guess, yeah. If you look at lane 4, 26.83, and then 28's on the outside. All right. So, folks, I'm not, just so you understand kind of my logic and speaking outside, saying it's circle seated. That is not anything positive or negative about the swimmers. But just in my head, like we have a case here, lane 6 going low. That's significant because I'll talk about it more, but 26.88 for Annie. She came in 27.60. We're next to her, we're low 26s. So that's why I'm saying it. And again, it's just prepping me to be on the lookout for things like that. All right. Especially if you have kind of a lane 7, lane 8 in circle seating is a significant difference versus traditional seating. Heat 4 of 5 in the pool. Names for 5, top right. And again, I'm going to call out things that kind of strike me and hit the wrong button. Lane 4 going low here, 25.61. Jessica, that's a drop off of 26.27. Laney Sue, 26. Laney Sue dropping 3/4 of a second there. Final heat. 27.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 114 are now posted. The time is 9:12. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Lane 3 looks to go low. Masha came in 27.07, goes 26.33. Nice swim. 26.64. Lola right on. All right, here we are for the men's. 15 and over, event 116. Heat 1 of 5. Names for 2, top right. Low time there, 25.16 for Ben. That's a 1.5 on the dot because he came in 26.66. Oh, hitting the wrong buttons again. Still waking up, folks. This is 2 of 3. Names for 3 of 5. I'm sorry. This is 2 of 5. Top right names for 3, and we have 5 total heats. Lane 4 going low. And on. Came in 25.18, dropping on that. This is heat 3 of 5. Big drop on the last one, I think. Mason Carter goes 24.48. Mason came in 26.40. Good start to the day there, Mason. All right, Eric, you're missing out your career. You should be up in the Catskills or the Poconos. This stream is reaching international waters, he says. All right, here we go with heat 4. 4 of 5. It is pretty funny, I'll admit, Edward.
Attention
Good call.
swimmers and coaches, the results of event 115 are now posted. The time is 9:15.
All right, event
You have 30
115 is
minutes to
posted.
declare your intent.
4 of 5 in the pool. Aaron Roy going low, came in 22.34. He's dropping on that, 22.25. Final heat. top right names are going to be the 100 back up next for the 13, 14-year-old girls. Low time here, 22:68 for Brian, right on his seed. Good morning swim, getting ready. 24, 20. Wow, look, hold on. Liam Soika, lane 8, 23:91. He came in 25:02. Nice swim, Liam. 22:75 for Femi. That's almost a full second for Femi in 3. He came in 23:64. Goes 22:75. All right. So here we go to the backstroke real quick. Let's shut this off. Show you real quick. We are using the backstroke wedges. So you see across the top of the starting block is that contraption slid in by official. And then the bar, the black thing you see, is held on by those 2 straps. And it'll go down just under the water line, allowing the swimmers to lock onto it and get a more reliable push for the backstroke. All right, so you see it going in there. Needs to be below the water line, or the toes need to be below the water line. All right, so let's go back to this view. There we go. These are not automatic, so you'll see after the start, somebody, either an official or a timer, hopefully will stay here for a second. There you go, you see the timer pulling them up. And they need to do that because if not, it'll obstruct the touchpad, the timing system. All right, this is heat 1 of 6. Record here is 54:99. Emily Thompson from 2020, November of 2020. So that's a COVID time. Emily is swimming at the NCAA. Well, was, now I got to change my past tense now. Was swimming at the NCAAs. Emily swims for Stanford, another talented Jersey swimmer making their mark in college. All right, we'll go a little tighter here since we have 3 swimmers. Again, this is heat 1 of 6. Names for heat 2, finally updated top right. Here we come into the finish. Low time, 106.19 from Lucy. Lucy's spot on. 106.19 nails her seat. Oh, everybody came in 106.19. So, I don't know. I'm gonna chuckle in my head. Ever since everybody had 106.19, that was the qualifying time. So, Lucy just hit that qualifying time on the dot. So, sort of had a virtual tie there in a sense, kind of a just interesting thing with the timing. This is heat 2 of 6. Names for 3, top right. That is our lane 6 swimmer, Liliana Schoon, with the lead at the 75. This is the final turn. Let's take a look at Liliana here. Liliana, I am sorry. 102.79. That's 3.2, dropping off a 105.99. She goes low in that heat. Here we are with heat 3. And not to take anything away, I don't say, she won, because really they're not racing against the people in their heat. They're just racing against, to get a time to either qualify for finals tonight or potentially another meet in this championship season. So, I don't know. Some people might not see it that way. When I watch other coverage and they say winner, yes, she won that heat, and not to take anything against Liliana. It's an awesome 3-second drop. But I don't say win in the sense, because this structure is really just about qualifying for tonight. All right. So I don't know. Just again, I tend to over explain things. So that is why I kind of call it the way I do. All right. If somebody has an argument that I should say win, please let me know. And I want to represent the swimmers' effort. So accordingly.
Attention coaches, please go to the control room to pick up your check-in sheets for the 400 IM. Please go to the control room to pick up your check-in sheets for the 400 IM.
3 is in the pool. The names for 4, top right. All right. So again, the chat is open if you feel like putting a question or comment there.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of the event 116 are now posted. The time is now 9:22. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
3 is in the pool. If you don't want to post a public comment, you can email me, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. So all one big word, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. Some guy in Wisconsin has commonguysports@gmail.com. He's a sports card collector, so I thought I was being unique with the business naming, but he beat me to it. Low time 104.11. That's 1.6 for Adia. Nice drop. This is heat 4 of 6. We are in circle seating. Looks like all the swimmers are set. Underway here with heat 4. All right, the ladies at the 50 turn, or the girls, I should say. Pardon me. Names for 5 updated top right. Lane 4, lane 3 leading at the 75. It's Elizabeth Palmer in 4, Creasa in 3. All right, Elizabeth 100 again, came in 100.44. Creasa goes 102.43 right on her seed. Almost a full second drop. Olivia Chen in 8. Came in 105.23, goes 104.25. I think everybody else was kind of right on their seat. Heat 5 of 6. All right, if you were with us on Friday, I updated the Petty logo to the more appropriate one here. All right, just a couple of the comments. No, I am not doing zones. Have not been engaged or contacted for them. All right, 5 of 6 in the pool. Names on the top right are your heat 6. And the other question, Common Guy Sports has a nice say. Yeah, so this started as a side project. So full disclosure, my daughter swam, and they'll admit they were just kind of average swimmers, but swam for Chatham, and Chatham had many meets down at GCIT and went to states. So I started kind of covering those for parents not having to drive, and then spilled into lacrosse tournaments and so on. So it became a little more than just a weekend thing. 59.07 for Anna, dropping off of 59.88. Nice swim. So I jokingly just put the name Common Guy Sports out there because I was just kind of covering it casually and didn't want to set expectations too high by naming it as some fancy, you know, world's best streaming company ever. And that doesn't have a ring to it. So that's where the name started. And this is Final Heat. All right, and there you go. The CBGC logo did work in 8 and 5 this time. So all right. So again, these backstroke bars, wedges, whatever we want to call them, they're great, but they're not foolproof if swimmers don't use them all the time or kind of working some of the kinks. There is kind of some hiccups. Final heat here, and then we'll have the boys' side, which has 8 heats. All right, names on the top right are the entries for that first of 8 heats for the boys. All right, low time here, lane 6. Riley Lamb, she goes 1:00.06. That's a huge drop. Riley came in 1:02.82. Awesome swim there, Riley. Should be seeing her tonight in the A. Again, that's with an asterisk, you know, provided no DQs, provided Riley's coming back and things like that. But I tend to talk cautiously. This is heat 1 of 8. Names for 2, top right. On to this is event 118. The boys 13-1400 back. Record here is Vinny Marciano. So 2016 49.27.
Attention coaches, please pick up the check-in sheet for the 400 IM. Please report to the control room for the 400 IM.
All right, into the finish low time there, 1:03 flat for Edgar, dropping 0.29 off his seed. Everybody else right about their seed. Here we go with heat 2. even across the board. All boys at 75 here in Heat 2. And again, this is without circle seeding. Low seed of this group is a 102.83. High seed 103.21. Lane 4, big kick at the end. He goes low, 101.98. That's Alan Zoe, dropping almost a second off a 102.83. I guess that's a 0.85 improvement. This is Heat 3.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 117 are now posted. The time is now 9:33. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent. Coaches, please pick up the check-in sheets for 400 IM. Again, report to the control room to pick up the check-in sheets for 400 IM.
All right. I don't know if you heard the sternness in that announcement. Coaches, get your 400 IMs. I think that's a third request, so put a little pressure on the coaches. This is Heat 3 of 8. Names for 4 updated on the top right. That is lane 5 going low here. Ayan Sa, 101.90, dropping 0.56, pardon me. Came in 102.46. I think that math's right. This is Heat 4. Names for 5, top right. All right, I had to look him up. I wasn't familiar with the name Vinny Marciano. So he is the record holder. So swam for EEX, earlier Morris County Swim Club, and Randolph High School. So Randolph Rams, who swim out of County College of Morris. I don't know if somebody wants to do any digging on Vinny, but might have overlapped with the Alexis at the Morris County Championships at some point. That would be an interesting. All right, here goes Heat 5. Sorry, low time there, 57.38. Did I overlook that? Where was that? Lane 5? Bassam, if hopefully this is accurate, came in 101.74 previous heat. Goes 57.38. That is awesome. I was looking up Vinny, and I totally missed that. I apologize, Bassam. Awesome. That would have put him. What does that fit? That fits like top 5. No, there's a 53, a 56. It's still a huge drop. We are underway here with our Heat 5.
Attention coaches, can I have a coach from Jersey Gators, Monmouth Barracuda, and Clifton to the control room for the 400 check-in? Again, Jersey Gators, Clifton, and Monmouth Barracudas to the control room.
All right. I'm chuckling here. I don't know if you heard me chuckle, but that last call out was explicitly to 3 teams. So, any of you students, when the principal calls you by name, that's the equivalent for one of your coaches. So, All right, heat 5 in the pool. Names for 6. Hopefully it'll get updated. Sorry, into the wall. Here we go. Low time. Lane 7. Ben goes 58.6. Came in 101.11. Nice drop there, Ben. 30.94 on that second half. All right, here we go with heat 6. These are the names. 6 of 8. Names are 7, top right. So we are circle seated here. 54.25 for Eric Dye in 4. All right, low time is Eric there, 54.97, just on his seed. 56 for lane 5. Markian came in 57.46, goes 56.7. Nice drop. John Peck dropping. No, that was William's son, lane 6 last time, dropping time. This is 7 of 8. All right, that was a swimmer's relax. Underway here, 7 of 8.
Can we have a coach from Stack, Rutgers Scarlet, and Jersey Gators to the control room? Again, that's Rutgers Scarlet, Jersey Gators, and Stack to the control room.
7 of 8 in the pool. Names are 8, top right. First to turn, Liam Kane in 5s, turning 26.37. All right, lane 4 goes low, 54.08 for Chase, right on his seat. Liam Kane came in 56.6. He just went 54.4, 2.2. Just a casual Sunday morning swim. Nice job, Liam McCain. Final heats underway here. Now, there's no context in the seed times if it's a week old, 2 months old, or, within the, year. So I don't have any of that context. So I'm just going to represent significant drops off the seed time. And these might not, that's just what I'm presented with to highlight some great swims. Kevin says, great swim, Julian Lee. JFAC is proud. All right, Kevin, thank you. Yeah, please keep the comments coming. I'm going to overlook things. I'm going to try and represent everything that I see, but I'm definitely going to miss stuff. So thank you for that, Kevin. All right, low time there on the board, 53.18 for Daniel. dropping off an already impressive 53.76. I think that'll be our lane 4 holder for tonight. Oh, up there, Devin Perez swam a 58.71 previous race. Came in 100.43. So A, great time. B, breaking the 100 barrier. Congratulations, Devin. Here we go with the women's event 119, heat 1 of 6. Record here, another name probably know, Claire Logan from 2023. She holds a record at 52.99. All right, into the wall, 102.69 for Aaron. That's a nice drop off of 103.77. That's a full second. Here we are with heat 2 of 6. All right, heat 2's in the water. This is going to be our 50 turn. The names for heat 3 are updated top right. Lane 2 coming in low, 102.75 for Hope Kennedy. That's almost a full second off of 103.67. Nice swim there, Hope. This is heat 3.
Attention coaches, can we have a coach from Eagles swim team to the control room? Coach from Eagles swim team to the control room.
So this is our last non-circle seated heat. 102.51 up to a 103.40. Three is in the water. Names for 4 are on the top right. All right, low time there, 103.46 for Vivian, just off her seed. All right, next heat, circle seeding here. Annie Flanagan in 4, low seed here. Well, third lowest overall, low seed in this heat. If you are joining late, you potentially missed something. You can see the events that have been swum on the bottom right. We are on 119 now. That order of events will cycle back through. Interestingly, I just put there's more information down there. If you're wondering, there's 834 heats, or 834 entries.
A coach from Scarlet Rockers to the control room.
All right, so you'll see as it's starting up on the bottom right of your screen. We started at 820, and we started with, it's going to tell us in a second, event 109. We're up to 119. Again, there's going to be 4 events per kind of so 4 events. We'll have the 13, 14 girls, 13, 14 boys, 15 and over women, 15 and over men. So they're in blocks of 4. Low lane 4, Annie going low, 59.21. 7, 1. Everybody right on their seat or a little over. Here we go with heat 5. Five is underway. Names for 6, top right. Be our final heat, next one. Becky turning 27.9, Laney 28.6. Take you wide into the finish. Becky's going low here, 58.08. 59.06 for Laney, right off their seats. All right. Final heat. Keeping an eye, a couple swimmers right at that 100 number here. So it's little kind of barriers you'd love to break through. First heat for the men's names are on the top right. This is final heat, heat 6 of 6. We'll have 7 heats for the men up next, starting that. This is our 50 turn. Amanda's going low, 56.60. All right. Nice job, ladies. It's definitely Amanda be back tonight. Zoe, 59.07. Might be right there. Top 8, looking for that A final tonight. And then the next 8 will be in a B final. There'll be 2 alternates that are on standby, if you would. Men's event 120, heat 1 of 7. Guess we had one scratch there in lane 4. Record here established March of 2023. Aaron Baltaitis. I always want to shorten that up. Aaron Baltaitis. 46.78 was Aaron's record. So I was doing some digging on the side. We mentioned Vinny Marciano earlier. He swam 2016 for Randolph High School. So, and he took second at the state final in the 50 free. At 2096. All right, that was heat 1. Oh, I didn't even update names yet. We'll get the names for heat 2 in a couple seconds. Here they are. The logos will get refreshed. This is heat 2 of 7. Low time last one, 56.61 for lane 5. That is Yaki Dang. Nice swim there, dropping 3/4 of a second off of 57.38. This is heat 2 of 7. And then that year, Vinny also won the 100 free, took first place there, 46.03. So talented swimmer. Just wasn't a name I recognized. So in 2016, the Alexi in that championship was Max Alexi. All right, in the pool here is heat 2 of 7. The names on the top right are the entries for heat 3. Here we come into the finish. Low time, 54.26 for Daniel. That's, 3.03. 3.03. Swims a 54.26 on a 57.29 seed. Nice swim, Daniel. Second to the wall was lane 7. Owen Zhu, 56.44, dropping almost a second off of 57.30. This is heat 3 of 7. in here with 3 of 7. Names for 4, top right. Tight one here, lanes 4, 5, and 6. Touch goes. We have a tie. Isaac and Burke, 4 and 5, 55, 80. Both dropping time off 56.58 for Isaac, 56.69 for Burke. Nice swim, guys. Third to the wall was 56.58 for lane 6. Anon. Dropping time. This is heat 4. All right, how about the irony here? Lane 2, Tyrion Chang. Lane 7, Brett Davis. Teammates, high school teammates. Pure coincidence, but congratulations to them for a state championship this year. Lane 3, lead swimmer. Slowing down here, folks. All right, pure. This is the opposite of a commentator's jinx, potentially. So I mentioned Tyrion in 3, Brett in 7. Do they go 1-2? Tyrion goes low, 55.02. Brett takes second. All right, that is awesome because I hate saying things sometimes. 55.02 for Tyrion. And I didn't update names. We're going to be slow here. Hopefully, yeah, this will get updated. So Tyrion goes 55.02 off his 56.13. Second to the wall, Brett Davis. He goes 55.78, dropping off at 56.31. So anybody believes in commentators' jinxes, that's obvious proof that it works totally in all of our favor. So I feel bad, so I hate saying things in advance, jinxing anything, but that one I went on a limb and kind of worked out. Congratulations, guys. And again, there's going to be names you're going to see here coming up. Jaden Lee, Uriel Lee, other guys, Zach Cush, who did fabulous stuff on the high school side. Aaron Roy, just looking forward. I had daughters, so the names kind of resonate more on the female side, but I'm full disclosure, I'm from Chatham, so Tyrion comes from a long list of brothers and has a very talented younger sister. Brett Davis was a significant part of that team also. All right, again, here's a case of those backstroke bars, wedges, kind of slow things down. We are underway, heat 5. Names for 6, top right.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 119 are now posted. The time is 10:02. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Got to give Aaron a little time here on the camera. Strong stroke. This is heat 5 of 7. Aaron goes low, 50-10. Came in 50-45. Again, that was the 3rd best seed, and he's improving on that. Way to go, Aaron. Should give you a little, there he is in the pool. I haven't been using that Call it the Selly cam. Keep that on the ready. I think I caught one yesterday. Worked out well. This is Heat 6. Six of 7. This was supposed to start at 10:10, so we are ahead of schedule. It is 10:03 real time here. This is Zach in lane 4. 23-6 on that front half. All right, Zach into the finish. 49.9 seed. He goes 49.69. Nice. It's like a 0.27. I might have actually got that math correct. From a 96 down to a, right, sorry. He goes 48.69. That's bigger than that. He came in 49.96. It's over a second. I am sorry, Zach. Awesome. Just went 48.69, folks. I totally couldn't do the math. All right, again, they're looking at the thing. All right, we're underway here. Final heat, Heat 7. All right. Low seed here, Jaden Lee. Got to give Jaden a little camera time here. We'll go wide after this turn. I'll give you the rest of the field, and then we'll catch Jaden on the finish. Look at that, half the pool. Nice. Here comes Jaden again. He came in 49.28. He goes 48.40. Jaden Lee, we'll give you. There's your celebration. You deserve it, Jaden. Awesome. Yeah. $48.40. All right, folks, I'm behind here. I didn't get your names updated. Isabella, Giovanna, and two Isabellas coming up. I feel bad, ladies. Isabella Fiore, Gianna Wooz, Isabella Zimmerman. I'll give you the names here. This is 13-14-50 free. We got to move quick. All right, somebody's got to help me out that 48.40, where that stands. I was trying to pull up the high school state time that either him or Zach won. I can't get to it. I got to get to the 50 free for the girls. Low time there, 26.07. That's a big drop. That's like 82.82 for Isabella Fiore. All right, let's get these going. Heat 2. Hold on, the names will flash. Ah, shucks. I am having. All right, the ladies' end be at the far end. I got to catch up here. This is heat 2 of 7. Rely on the scoreboard. That's always really the more reliable component. I'm going to just show you the names real quick. Take them away. This is heat 2 of 7. Names for heat 3, top right. All right, low time there. Lane 6, Anna, just off her seat. All right. So, folks, full disclosure, not making any excuses. All the names that you see on the screen and so on, I'm doing that manually. I'm not tied into the timing system here. So, for all like the people from Jersey Aquatics, I don't have that fancy system. I wish I did. But since I am independent, I don't want to connect into the timing system. Yesterday, the actual, I don't know if it was just the scoreboard or the actual full timing system, because they are somewhat independent, locked up. So I choose not to connect for that reason. So I have to manually update those, and that's where we fell behind. All right, so here we are with heat 3, low time. Holly, some outside smoke there. Lane 8, 26:43, dropping 0.23. Here we go, heat 4. All right, I lost my voice a little bit on that swim a couple races ago. 4 is in the pool. The name's for 5, top right. Lane 5 looks to go low. It is 26:37 for Emmy. Dropping off our 26:38. Always be improving. Good stuff, Emmy. Here we go with 5. Names for 6, top right. $25.33 for Iris Chen, right on her seat. That was 5. Here we are with 6. Names for final heat 7 is on the top right of your screen. Again, even though these are circle seated, not a lot of, no, I shouldn't say that. All right, lane 3 is going low, 25:52 for Haley. Right on her seat. This is final heat for the girls. Heat 1 of 7 for the boys. Those names top right. That's up next. So Anna Mosch is the record holder here at 23:11 back in 2019. 24:76 for Kayla. Right on her seat. 26. Drop in time in the last one, Kendall in 8. Kendall got him, goes 25.72. She came in 26.32. It's like 0.6. Nice swim, Kendall. Guys are underway. Heat 1 of 7. Record holder, aforementioned Jack Alexi, 20.59 for the 13, 14-year-olds. All right, low time there is Mason in 3. Mason came in 25.18, goes 25.06. Oh, that's not right. Why? I didn't update those. Sorry, folks. Those names are not right that I just flashed. I'm going to show you. Never mind. Sorry. They were right when I flashed them again. I'm updating those for 3. Low time here, 24.50. Glenn out in lane 8, dropping 0.65. Nice swim, Glenn. Here we are with heat 3. All right, low time here is Christian in 5, 24.95. Came in 25 flat. Way to break that little barrier. Good job. This is heat 4. All right, so I mentioned.
Attention, swimmers and coaches. The results of event 118 are now posted. The time is now 10:15. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
All right, so I mentioned the record, Jack Alexi, 20.59. Just keep that number in your head. I'll complete the thought in a second. Joseph Henry goes low, 24.36, dropping to 5.5, 0.49 actually. This is heat 5. So the winning time at the Jersey Meet of Champions, the high school all-star, Chris Wasco went 20.38. So just put some perspective on that Jack Alexi record as a 13, 14-year-old. Low time, 23.02 for Evan. Dropping 0.09. That was 5. Here we go with 6. These are circle seated, so you can see the difference in the seed times. Top right are your entries for the final heat, heat 7. And then after that, we'll move up to the women's. Low time, lane 4, Josh, 23.09. Right on his seat. Final heat.
Attention, swimmers and coaches. The results of event 120 are now posted. The time is now 10:17. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Slow time, lane 4, Aaron 22:37. Right on his seed. I think he'll have lane 4 tonight in the A final. Here we go with the women's. Heat 1 of 6. Record here, Anna Mosh 21:97 back in 2022. Heat 1 of 6 in the pool. This is event 127 now. Event women's 15 and over, 50 free. Low time 25:56 for Natasha, dropping 0.4. Here we go with heat 2. Oh, I didn't turn them on. Sorry, folks. I'll give you real quick again. All right.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 125 are now posted. The time is now 10:19. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
All right, 2 is in the water. Those names are updated on the top right for 3. Lane 8, keep an eye outside smoke. 25:75 for Veronica. Dropping 0.11. Nice job. Says heat 3. That graphic disappearing, that was my trigger finger. It didn't have anything to do with the bad start or anything like that. Again, I control that and I try and time it, and I didn't do a very good job that time. All right, here we are with heat 3. The names for 4, top right. Tight one across the board. It's going to go to the touch in lane 1, Luella. 25:76, right on her seed. Everybody there right on their seed. Here we go with 4 of 6. So now we're into circle seating. All right, that was relaxed from the starter. All right, 4 is in the water. Names for 5, top right. Lane 3 looks to go low. At least she does. 54:51. I'm sorry, 24:51. Jeez. That's like a 0.4 drop. Nice swim, Elise. This is heat 5. Second to last heat. Names for 6, the final heat, top right. Then we go to the men's. All right, first to the wall, Annie in 4:24.72. Right on her seed. Final heat. Top right is heat 1 of 9. Up next for the men's. Also in between 4 and 5, Amanda and Angela. Low time goes to Angela. 24.75 to 24.76. Nice swim, ladies. So is that a fingernail? The 0.01? Big. Underway, event 128 for the men's.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 126 are now posted. The time is now 10:24. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
This is heat 1 of 9. Names for heat 2, top right. Low time there, 22.74 for Jerry. It's a nice drop off of 23.17. Record here, Roman Jones, 2023, 1975. 19 seconds, 0.75. So a sub 20. Now, all right, 2 is in the pool. Names for 3 are updated. Low time there, 22.90 for Colin. Nice drop off of 23.17, breaking into those 22s. Heat 3 of 9. Lane 6, 22.89 for Jacob. He's also now in the 22s. Came in 23.02. Here is heat 4. So this was slated or scheduled for 10:32. It is 10:26, running a little ahead of schedule. Lane 3's going low. Pietro, 21.92. Where did Pietro come in? Pietro came in 22.84. Now he's in the 21s. Nice swim, Pietro. Here's the next heat, 5. Five in the pool, names for 6 on the top right. Wow, we're even across the board. Lane 6 goes low, 22.41 for Dylan, dropping 0.23. Nice job. This is 6 of 9. Names for 7, top
Attention
right.
swimmers and coaches, the results of event 127 are now posted. The time is 10:27. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Keep an eye on lane 8. Can't see him very well, but Tyrion. He goes, nope. Lane 1, I missed you up there. Sorry, your name's truncated. Church. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading it. 2253 right on your seed. This is heat 7. Names for 8, top right. Sorry, folks. Had to go to alternate camera there. All right, 7 going low, 2137 for Jaden Lee. Right on his seed. Anybody break the 21? This is 8 of 9. Ah, come on. Sorry. All right, and into the finish. 2080 for Aaron Roy. Okay, right on his seed. You know, being in anything that starts 2-0 is awesome. So good stuff. And now we have somebody standing at that end. Final race of this. Then we get the IMs. I don't have those names, so let's ride it with the guys. Riker in 4 goes low, 2055. Improving off of 2056. That is awesome. All right, we're going 400 IM. I just got to live with the scoreboard, folks. I don't have these names. You don't want to see that. That was yesterday morning, by the way. If you haven't seen that, if I haven't showed that 50 times. All right, we're just going to live with the scoreboard here. Or if you have these in Meet Mobile, they don't even have names on the scoreboard yet. So this is the 400 IM. I'm going to shut those names off on the top right, unless I could dig them out. Events. This is our Sunday 400 IMs. Oh, so there is 3 heats. So the information is in Meet Mobile. Let me read them out. Amelia Lopez is in one. Olivia Lariano in 2. Maeve McGowan's in 3. Ashlyn Reber in 4. Lan Towns in 5. Olivia Chen is in 6. Emmy Reyes in 7. And Samantha Enriquez is in 8. So these are circle seated, but fastest, or are they just fastest to slowest? No, they are circle seated, fastest to slowest. Yeah, I got a different camera. And this isn't focused. Pretty sure lane 4, Ashlyn Reber, Scarlet. That's her there. Lane 5, Lan Tang, EEX. Lane 6 to the right of your screen, Olivia Chen. Again, the information is in Meet Mobile. I'm trying to refresh.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results of event 128 are now posted. The time is 10:32. You have 30 minutes to declare your intent.
Oh my gosh. Lane 4, first to turn. I think that's Ashlyn Reber if everything lines up. Next to turn, we have lane 3, Meg McGowan. Lane 6, Olivia Chen. Then lane 5, Lan Tang. Then rounding out, sorry, let's go to this other camera. Lane 1, Amelia Lopez. Lane 2, Olivia Laureano. Lane 7, Emmy Reyes. And lane 8, Samantha Enriquez. That's who I think we have. I'm trying to double check. All right, lead swimmer, left side, lane 4. Again, this is 400-yard IM. IM being individual medley. All right, that's 12 lanes complete. We're on to freestyle here on this right wall. Lane 4, we think it's Ashlyn Reber, 436. Kind of swimming on her. If that is her, she's swimming on her seat. Seat time 436. So obviously she would need to be about a 31 on these freestyle splits to be on seed. All right, we'll go back to the start end. .33 on that front 50 freestyle. 408 cumulative. Next to turn. Lane 3, Maeve McGowan. All right, we'll give you a wide view, and then we'll finish with lane 4. $439.85. All right. Second to the wall on a 450. It's lane 3. Oh, there we go. All right, now it's updated. So that was Ashlyn, first to the wall, 439. Maeve, second to the wall, 450. We'll give you this. All right, now those names are updated there on that scoreboard. Ignore the times in that center, or both scoreboards, really. Just those are the leftover times from the previous beat. Now we're going with the guys. All right, this is the boys. You see those names. All right, if anybody's jumping off, glad you can join us today. This is Mike, Common Guy Sports. Really a pleasure to bring this to you on our final day here from the beautiful campus of Rutgers University. All right, lane 4, Ethan Reynes completes his butterfly. He's on to back. All right, lead swimmer is going left to right, lane 4. Next to turn after 25 yards of back is Deo in 7. We'll jump down to the other end, a little easier to see. So lane 4 has completed 50 of his back halfway through his backstroke. Again, with the 400 IM, everybody's swimming 100 of each stroke. 4 lengths, 2 laps, however you want to segment that 100 yards. All right, lane 4 is coming into your picture here. No transition back to breast. Let's take a look there with our lead swimmer, Ethan. All right, then we'll go back to the wall, catch all these transitions back to breast. All right. So Ethan in 4 coming into your picture. He's about to, under the flags, he'll turn the stay on breaststroke. He's halfway through his breaststroke. All the swimmers on the left-hand side, they just completed 25 of their breaststroke. Let's keep Ethan's turn here. All right, jumped you to the wall. So other than lane 4, they're just turning on breaststroke. Lane 4 will go breast to free. All right. Except for lane 4, 25 to go on the breaststroke. Lane 4 has 75 to go on this freestyle. You're going to see the significant speed difference there of strokes. All right, except for lane 4, they just started their freestyle. Lane 4 has 25 to go. We'll follow Ethan home. All right, you deserve it, Ethan. Great swim. All right, 50 to go for the swimmers. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I missed it. One more time. All right, 50 to go up there in lane 1. Swimmers coming into frame will be finishing. Ethan came in 4:04:35. He goes sub 4 with that 3:59:61. Great swim, Ethan. Second of the wall, Arel Say. He goes 4:37, just off his seed. All right, but our low time there, lane 4. Nice job. All right, so this will be the second heat for the girls, sorry. See those names. Bella, Alexandra, Aubrey, Lily, Adeline, Olivia, Aliana, and Ellis. 1 through 8. All right, here we are halfway through this butterfly. All right, unofficially, just kind of doing some quick searching. The record on that 400 IM, unfortunately, is 3:57:14. Richard Poplowski. That's unofficially. Ethan was 3:59. Again, this is the second heat for the 13, 14-year-old, the women, or the girls, I should say, pardon me. Yeah, Edward, absolutely. That Ethan's 3:59 is awesome. You know, obviously we love him to break records, but the fact that you're 2 seconds off a record on a 400 IM just speaks volumes. So great swim there, Ethan. Yeah, and please, help me out like that, because sometimes I get distracted and don't realize the significance. But that is really significant. Again, 3:59. Twofold. If you're in your head, if you're trying to break 4:0 and you go out and accomplish it, celebrate that. But the fact that you're 2 seconds off the record, I think, speaks volumes. All right, we're halfway through breaststroke here.
The scratches for the 1,000 are due now. Please return the 1,000 scratches then.
All right, so that announcement was please return scratches for the 1,000. We're going to end this stream after these IMs, and there'll be a separate live stream for the 1,000s. All right, breaststroke will conclude, and then we'll go to freestyle.
Attention coaches, the check-in for the 1,000 is due now. The check-in for the 1,000 is due now.
All right, lead swimmer there in 4, Lily. She's on her freestyle. Sorry, we're kind of doing a poor job getting a little highlight here on the effort being put out by the women. All right, lead swimmer here, Lily in 4. She'll be halfway through freestyle. Followed closely by 5 and 3, Adeline and Aubrey. We do have one more heat for the girls. They might combine that.
Attention coaches, can we have a coach from Cougar, Jack, and Excel to the control room? A coach from Cougar, Jack, and Excel to the control room.
All right, Lily finishes 4:42. Right about her seed, lane 5, 4:49. That's Adeline. Nice job, ladies, girls, I should be saying. Give you the big scoreboard, see the times there, and then we'll get the names for the boys. There is one more heat for the girls. All right, this is our second heat for the boys, event 122, heat 2. This is fly to back transition.
Attention coaches, can I have a coach from Cat Cougar to the control room? Coach from Cougar to the control room.
This is lanes 4 and 3. Lane 4, first to turn, halfway through the backstroke. This is lanes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do a little ISO up in 1 and 2 shortly. Here is 1 and 2. All right, transitioning back to breast. All right, we'll take it wide here, halfway through the breaststroke. All right, we're on freestyle after this turn on the right side. Be halfway through freestyle. Lead swimmer there, lane 4, Lucas. So as of right now, it shows the schedule for the thousands to start at 11:30. So it's hard to judge if we'll have much of a break in between. But again, if you're joining this looking for the 1,000, that has not started yet. It's going to be a separate stream. We're just wrapping up the end of the prelims. This is our 400 IM prelims. Low time there in this heat 2, 4:25 for Lucas. It's right off his seed. Gio goes 4:30.92. He's dropping 3.5 off of 4:34.42. Nice job. So we did have some women still to go. Yeah, here they are. They're not combining it. This is our heat 3 of event 121. All right, you see the names there: JoJo, Bella, and Clemente. All right, our first transition here to backstroke. So this will be the final heat for the girls. We have 2 more heats for the boys, heat 3 and 4. All right, so still to race in this session. As I just mentioned, we have heats 3 and 4 for the boys. Then we'll have 3 heats for the women, 2 heats for the men. All right, next transition. So for Bella in lane 4, final 25 here, the breaststroke. And we'll swing forward. Bella will transition to freestyle here. So just to be clear, these are prelims. So the 400 IM will be swum again for the swimmers in the top 16 tonight in the finals. This is a finish here. Nice job. Bella goes 5:05.45. Bella came in on a 5:10.71. She goes 5:05.45. Oops, I meant to shut that off. Okay, we're underway. You see the names on the scoreboard. This is our heat 3 for the boys. I believe we have one more, right? After this. Yes, confirmed. There is 3 swimmers. Ryan, William, and Rick up in heat 4 next. So again, just the 2 empty lanes here are a result of just math factoring in 8-lane pool. You don't want to have just 1 or 2 swimmers in the next heat. Therefore, there were swimmers pulled down from this. Again, these are seeded fastest to slowest. That's why we're seeing the empty lanes at the end first. Normally, you'll see the empty lanes at the beginning. This is lane 6. That's Glenn. In the middle here is Shane. Then we have Jackson and Felipe's in 3. We'll get close with Garrick here in 2. And then make you dizzy and go down and see Anthony in 7. All right, this will be a back to breast transition. We are halfway through the breaststroke. All right, we're on to freestyle here. First to turn is lane 3. That's Felipe splitting 39-36 on that second 50 there. Nice job. You can see relative to the field, the significance of that time. Field 41, 42, 44, 45s. Strong there, Felipe. Now he's being challenged by lane 6, Glenn. We'll take this wide. We'll be 50 to go. Glenn pulling to the front here. 30-67, Glenn's front 50. That is awesome after 300 yards of other stuff. That's Glenn, 25 to go. This is our second to last. Let's finish with Glenn, and then I'll go wide. Nice swim, Glenn. 30-93. So what, he went, what, 101 and a half on that 100 free? That is awesome. Gotta go back, see Glenn. And good sportsmanship to boot. Nice job, guys. So, I just take 441, I think. All right, this is the Heat 4. You see the names, Ryan, William, and Rick. 441. Glenn came in on a 447.56. Nice drop. It is 11:03 here. These guys, girls, boys, girls, women. You know, early start. It was 7 o'clock. Doors opening. In the pool warming up shortly after that. after a couple long days here. So great resilience, great strength, great determination. First transition, fly to back. This is halfway through the backstroke. This is our lane 4 swimmer, William. Going on to the breaststroke. Next to the wall, Ryan in 3, and then to the right is Rick. This is the final 25 of breaststroke. Then we have 4 lanes of freestyle. This is the last heat for the boys. And then I think I said we have 3 for the women's, 2 for the men. All right, I might stand corrected. The Meet Mobile is now saying the 1,000 is starting at noon for the women. Looks like 3 heats for the women. All right, we're halfway through freestyle. And could be 4 heats for the men with no scratches, as there's 26 entries. Meet Mobile shows those not as seated yet, just as the psych sheet. We'll be coming into a finish here. You see the women behind the blocks up next. Low time 4:50 there for William. William right on his seed. Heat 1 of 3 for the women. I'll just put the bigger scoreboard on so you can confirm the names. Lane 1 at the top. At any point, you can rewind. It doesn't affect anybody else. So if you wanted to double check something. So this is event 123, heat 1. Up next, you should see them behind the blocks. You see the men lining up. We'll swim 124, heat 1. Then we'll come back to this 123, swim heat 2, 124, heat 2, and then the final women's. There is more women's heats than men's here. All right, 25 to go here on the backstroke. That is lane 4. Ava Lon leading out. Take you. This will be back to breast transition. They're at 200 yards complete. All right, we'll be on breast to free transition. Lead swimmer here in 4 is Ava Lamb. I got to give a shout out, Jasmine in 7. I've kind of neglected to mention she is part of that Chatham High School team that won the state championships this year and was named the NewJersey.com Team of the Year. So, Jasmine, I'm sorry I neglected to mention it to this point, but finally triggered. So, congratulations. Congratulations to that whole team. I have not read the article. I don't just saw it as a post somewhere. So halfway through there for freestyle for Ava. We'll take you on let's follow Ava for a little bit on her finish, and then we'll go wide. This will be 25 to go on the left side. And again, if there's other acknowledgments, we had somebody acknowledging Amanda Bramley. Got her Eagle Scout. Yeah, there's that picture-in-picture everybody wanted, right? All right, nice time there. 4:28 for Ava. Again, these are preliminaries to be re-swum later. Ava right on her seat. I'll give you the big scoreboard for a second. All right, again, this is the men's. Now you could rewind there with the ladies' times flashed real quick, but you could rewind and then pause. Okay, we're underway with the men's.
Attention swimmers and coaches, the results for events 121 and 122 are now posted. You have 30 minutes to clear your intent. The time is now 11:13.
All right, folks, I shouldn't have touched it. 1 second. All right, we're back live. All right, that video froze because of me. All right, folks, I have to step away. I'm going to just leave you on this screen. I'll be back shortly. All right, here we are halfway through the backstroke. Sorry about that. Had to step away for a minute. All right, all swimmers coming in this left-hand half. This will be our back to breast transition. There's lane 5, Sienna, followed by Sharon in 4. And then Sophie in 3. Couple 39s on that front half. 3 39s to be exact. Nice job, ladies. Be 25 to go here on the breaststroke. This is heat 2 of 3 for the women. We'll have 1 heat for the men's, then we'll go back and swim the third one for the women's. All right, we're on to freestyle. Sienna in 5, Sharon in 4, continue to lead. This is a look at 6, 7, and 8. Ahana, Samantha, and Veronica. Oh, sorry, Veronica. All right, lead groups turned at the far side. That's their final 50. The left wall means final 25. We'll go into the finish and then we'll rewind a little bit. This is lane 5. Sienna going low here, right on her seed. Sharon just off her seed. Lane 2 and 3 and 2 finishing. I wanted to go back, pick up Veronica. I was missing her earlier, sorry. We'll take it wide. You'll see Veronica at the bottom coming in. All right, third to the wall was Sophie, 444. Right off her seed. Reese dropping a couple seconds. We got 1.8. Nice job. Grace goes right on. Everybody else right about their seed. All right, this is the boy of the men's heat 2. See these names on the top left. Let's do this. Just so we show you the names in full, since I didn't have a good display earlier, so I'll just give you that larger font. All right, lane 1, top of your screen. Lane 8 is empty. This is event 24, 124, heat 2. Will be the final heat for the men's. Then we'll go back. We have 1 more heat for the women's. Here's our transition. That is lane 4, halfway through the backstroke. Josh Reynes. So it is 11:25 here. Again, we have one more race after this one, and then we'll be on to the thousands for the older age groups. And according to Meet Mobile, those thousands will start at noontime. So we'll have about a 20-minute break. We'll get things reset, and then that'll start up a new live stream. Same YouTube channel, Common Guy Sports. It'll just be a separate stream, and that'll be known as Session 10. Okay. And then we'll have, later on, we'll have Session 11, ironically for the 11 and 12-year-olds. And then here we are on to 12, or I'm sorry, halfway through here, sorry. Halfway through the breaststroke. 10 lengths complete by the lead swimmer. So we'll have those 11 and 12-year-olds, and then we're back this late afternoon, this evening at 5 o'clock for the Sunday finals, which will be all the final events from this morning's preliminaries. These 400 IMs included. So a lot of swimmers be taking a nap, getting some nutrition, and be back in the pool, putting in the mileage. Can't say mileage, the yardage, but definitely should add it up for some of the swimmers that have swum the 1650 and the 500 and potentially the 400 IM. So this is the first half of the 50 of the 100 free. So we'll be turning here. Again, this is Josh in 4, 50 to go at that point. All right, we'll stay wide. Josh is off to the left. He'll have 25 to go off that left-hand wall, out of sight there. But Ben and Ryan in 1 and 2 turning. They have 50 to go. We have a finish here for Josh in 4. Josh came in right on his seed. Good swim. Connor just off his seat. We'll go wide. All right, everybody into the wall. All right, behind the blocks, see the women for the final heat. Scoreboard will refresh in a second. This will be 123, heat 3. There they are, Nina, Maya, Marley, Mary, Coco, and Erin. This will be the final race for this session. If you're jumping off, glad you could join us. We're back again shortly. If you're not, have a great day. And, the results will be posted to Meet Mobile, and then they will, after all the swimmers indicate if they're coming back for the finals or not, that will then get updated with the A and B finals for each of the events. It's going to follow the same structure that we had this morning. We'll do the same for this evening. We'll have 13, 14 girls, 13, 14 boys, and then women's 15 and over, men's 15 and over. Each of those will have an B and then an A final. The B being placed 9 through 16 of the qualifying times, and the A final is the 1st through 8th, provided no scratches. So that, you know, which swimmers are in that A final is dependent upon if anybody scratches out. We'll be halfway through the backstroke here. All right, we'll be on the back to breast transition. And now halfway through the breaststroke. Lead swimmer here, Erin in 7. Followed closely by Mary in 5. Then we have 4 and 3, Marley and Naya. All right, we'll take this turn. They'll transition to freestyle here. We'll jump forward. This is going to be 25 down, 75 to go of the freestyle. Mary in 5, drawn almost even to Erin in 7. Erin had a low split there, 35-8. Actually, Marley, 35-14, 34 flat. Maya, 33-48. Nina will jump to the far end. $33.4, that Nina front half 50. All right. Tight one. Low time on the board, 4:53 for Marley. That could factor into the top 16, maybe. I need to refresh that. Marley dropping time. She came in 4:54.09. Nice job. Erin 4:53. Erin dropping 2 and change, 2.5. She came in 4:56.43. She goes. Let me make that bigger for you. 4:53. Nice job. So we'll need to double check. Let's refresh when we get completed results. And actually, well, we'll see. Some of the previous heats, again, this was all circle seated, so a little hard to guesstimate on that. So good luck. Hopefully we see you later. Nice job, ladies. All right, 11:33. It says we're back for the next session, Sunday 1,000 for 12 noon. They should probably make an announcement, but I'm going to wrap up. I need to do a quick reboot, and hopefully we get back online. So, this is Mike, Common Guy Sports. We will see you soon. Nice job today, everyone.